All right, we are officially recording. You guys can hear by my voice. It's getting better every single day. So I'm on the mend, getting over this cold, thankfully. So thanks for sticking with me each day here. For those of you guys who are here for your first time, let me know in the chat if this is your second day with us, your third day, let me know so we can celebrate you. But whatever day you're here with us, you're in the right spot. You're going to have clarity and a clear marketing plan for the next 90 days. So I'm excited to dive in with you and help you. So this is our launch and plan mid-year challenge. If you missed day two, so yesterday we covered social media content. We created a social media plan for your entire year in just 30 minutes and helped you create your content framework. So if you are one of our members inside a corporate rescue plan, I know we have both here today. We have our members and then new people who maybe this is your first call with us. So welcome, big welcome to you. If you are a member, you can get all the recordings and all the tools and templates of day one and day two. It's on the membership site. It's also in our community as well too. I posted it there. If you are not yet a member, well, why don't you join us? It's only $19 to join us. We are starting tomorrow our high conversion marketing 90-day boot camp inside a corporate rescue plan. So not only do you get the boot camp with all of our best marketing training to help you in 2026, but you also get all of these recordings and tools. So you can go through it on at your own pace, on your own time as well too. And it's only $19 and that ends tonight because tomorrow we start our pre-work for the high conversion marketing bootcamp. And you have weeks to do the pre-work. Don't feel like if you're busy tomorrow, I'm going to be busy tomorrow. We have kids coming over tomorrow. It's going to be a crazy day. So don't feel like you need to do this all tomorrow. But just know to get inside the high conversion marketing bootcamp and to get this deal inside of corporate rescue plan of only $19, you have to join today. So I put the link here. I'm going to put the link in the chat as well too, so that you have it. And if you are a CRP member, I know we're getting a lot of questions coming in. If you already are a member or are in our career coach certification program, you will get access to the bootcamp. You'll get my email tomorrow with our first video of our high conversion marketing bootcamp. Also, I shared yesterday as well too that one of my marketing strategies for 2026 is a Substack. I will be writing about motherhood and purpose and calling, kind of different topics than what I talk about on Classy Career Girl. And that, so that if you want the more of the behind the scenes personal life stuff, how I'm doing it all, come subscribe on Substack. You'll get my free weekly planner template that I use for our family that I put on the fridge every Sunday night. So you get that free for when you subscribe. And I just have a free subscription. It's all free. I don't have like a paid tier or anything like that yet. So come follow along. It's like the early days of blogging for me, putting new content out there, and getting excited about writing again. So if you want my 2026 strategy, it's more blogging, more writing, and more content creation. That excites me. So let's get into today's training. Like I said, if you are just joining us, let us know where you're from in the chat as well too. We have Elaine is in Florida, and then we had Angela is up in Canada. And I'm down here in Florida as well, and one of a neighbor of Elaine here today as well. To catch you, you're back for day two. Congrats! If you made it to two of our calls, put two in the chat as well too, so I can see how many calls you guys have been making. So welcome back, Nkechi. Good to see you. Okay, so let's dive into our 90-day marketing plan. This is day three where we put it all together. We have your launch plan, we have your social media plan, and today we create the big old marketing plan and some simple rhythms that you can sustain as a business owner. And so what we want to do today is I'm going to go behind the scenes and kind of show you how I plan out my marketing calendar. Like I said, this is where it all comes together. So there's no more guessing. What should I post? No more trying everything. It's impossible to do. There's like new platforms left and right, right? And there's no more starting the year feeling behind. We're not going to walk into tomorrow, January 1st, and feel like we're behind. We're going to create a realistic marketing plan that works with your life, not against it. So we're going to talk a little bit. Let me know right now in the chat, like if you feel like marketing is overwhelming. I know Sometimes you feel like you have to post, but you don't know what to post about. And sometimes it feels like you're on that content hamster wheel. You have to post, you don't really know what to post. And so we like to plan out for 90 days so we know what we're posting, we know what we're launching, we know what we're posting on social media, we know what the type of content that's going to help us build focus and momentum and results. And that way it's sustainable as well too, because we have real lives. We have a lot of stuff going on. We have limited amount of time. You don't have big teams to be able to help you. I get it. And so we really want to shift the pressure away and get clarity first. And that's why we create a marketing plan, and really get that focus for the first 90 days of the quarter. So, I am going to share my screen here again, and I'm also going to paste this document one more time in the chat because I know if you came in a little bit late, sometimes you can't see what I posted in the beginning. Pat, all three, congrats to you. Nikechi, all three for you too. And Joy is here from Maryland. Awesome. Big round of applause for you guys. Let's all like give each other a round of applause for being here today. Especially it's New Year's Eve. This is a big deal, but I hope you guys are excited for the year. I woke up this morning just excited. I'm excited for 2026. I'm so thankful for 2025, but I'm also really excited for kind of just this shift and change and doing I'm writing more, which is something I did when I started my blog like back in 2011. I was doing a lot of writing and I'm kind of feeling that same sort of excitement again writing again. And so I want to get you guys there too. I want to get you excited about your marketing and putting content out there and serving people and helping people and solving problems because that's what this is all about, helping one person every day. So hopefully there's more than one person here today. So I've done that for today. So let's choose our focus. So in the prior trainings, we talked a little bit about having your core offer, having, possibly maybe one or two additional offers, but really knowing what that core offer is going to be for Q1. And then deciding what not to focus on. Because we could try and do it all in 90 days. We could try and launch a course and a one-on-one coaching program and a book and all of the things in one quarter. But the problem is we're probably not going to be successful at it. We're probably going to be very overwhelmed. And so thinking about what is that primary offer for you for the quarter. And that way you can stop splitting energy across all the things and too many ideas. And we can start to create a marketing plan that works and we can learn from it, what works, what doesn't work, and start to do more of what works by the end of those 90 days. And that's how you get really consistent in your marketing and you can align your marketing as well with the current season of your life and your business. In prior trainings, we talked about there's certain seasons where I'm not doing much marketing. Like July and August for us are a little bit slower. December, January, it's busy. These are our all out marketing months. And if you're a coach or someone who provides a service or helps people, these are really good months in your business. So if you're planning to launch in January, you are perfectly timed to launch your business in January or to do another launch in January. So have that clear direction, know where you want to focus, know that big rock for you that you want to focus on in Q1. If you don't have our 90-day planning template, I know many of you already do, but this is our one-page 90-day planning sheet, which I always print out, or you can also save it to your computer and edit it online. But what I like to do here is on the very top, it says area of focus or what your goal is. That is going to be the core offer. What is the core offer that you're going to provide? What is it that you're going to launch? How many people do you want to help in that offer? That is my number one top strategy here that I'm going to put at the top. And if you only have one, that's totally fine as well too. When it comes to like what you want to focus on over the next 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days. But the very first thing is figuring out what that is. What is that one main focus for your next 90 days? And then the second part is then breaking that 90 days into monthly themes and really figuring out in the 90 days, when are you promoting your products and services? And when are you nurturing your audience? So when are you building trust and building a relationship? Yesterday's training on social media, we talked about how important it is to build trust and build a relationship so that by the time you open cart or by the time someone gets on a sales call, they already know, like, and trust you and basically want to buy. They just need to talk to you first. And so we have to build all of that into your marketing calendar. And then there might be time in the 90 days as well, the first quarter of 2026, where you just want to rest. You just want to break. You just want time off. Or maybe you have big, busy things happening in your personal life as well. And so we can plug in those days, like right now, like plug in your calendar, plug in like when you know you're going to be busy. Maybe there's birthdays, maybe there's some trips that you want to take. There's March could be like a spring break time as well too. We can plan all of that. We can plan out those rest times, those vacation times, those personal commitment times as well too, because we don't want to be launching around those times. And from there, then we can plug into your calendar. And I'm going to do this with you guys so you can see how I do this because I haven't actually done this for myself yet. So we're going to just do it in real time. I thought that would be fun. I'll get it done and you guys can watch me do it at the same time. How does that work? So you want to have those content themes in your quarterly or in your Q1 plan, as well as your launch and your promotional windows, and then any free offers, events, or list builders that you're going to do. So this is how I plan. I try not to overly plan, but I do like to look one quarter at a time so I have a calendar and I'm all ready to go. And I do this through creating a Google Calendar. I go back to what we did in day one, where we created my launch calendar together in day one. We created my launch plan, right? We said, I'm just looking January, February, March on the screen here. I'm looking at January is going to be our bigger certification launch. And then February is going to be a smaller webinar launching our membership corporate rescue plan. And then I had put that in March, there's going to be kind of like a similar to this, like a free 3-day mini workshop once again, launching our membership. And that's kind of what I have planned for the quarter. So I have one bigger launch and then two kind of more mini launches. So my rest time will be more like February, March. January, there's not going to be that much rest time. I'm gearing up right now. I'm preparing mentally for, a busier January, that's the life cycle of our business. We have the busier months, and then we have breaks more towards like the summer months as well too. So that's what I look at first. So if you haven't kind of laid out your months, what those are going to look like, go back to the day one training, get that, the launch calendar, kind of map this out for yourself so you know what Q1 looks like for you. So I know that, knowing that, this helps me. This helps me then not only does it help me create this 90-day plan, so I know, okay, in 30 days, I can look back here and say, okay, I'm going to be doing certification in January. In February, I'm going to go in here and put, CRP webinar and then CRP mini challenge launch in here. So then I kind of have a plan for 30, 60, and 90 days in here. So if I'm launching two things, like if I'm launching a membership, that would be one goal. And then I would probably scroll down and do certification would be like the next goal in here. So I'm kind of have two separate goals that we're working on over the quarter. And that's because I've done this for many years. So I can be launching multiple things in a quarter. But if you're just starting, just launching one offer in a quarter is totally fine as well too. So what I do from here then is I go to Google Calendar and I will create a new calendar. And so let's see, we're going to create a new calendar. We're going to call it Q1 2026. Sometimes I already have calendars that I just kind of edit. But I'm trying to show you guys how you can do this yourself. And so what I do then is then I have a Q1 calendar. You can see I have a lot of calendars here. Okay, so I have the Q1 calendar. Right now it's completely open. It's completely blank. So let's go back to our checklist here. The first thing that I always do is I add in my launch dates and my open cart dates. And so I'll go to my calendar and I'm going to be launching certification in January. So I have a certification calendar in here as well too. So I know that my orientation for certification kicks off on the 22nd. So that is going to be, I'm actually going to have my close cart date be on module one date. So this is why it's so important. Like in day one, we talked about figuring out what you're selling first, what you're fulfilling first, what is your offer first. And I can go in here into my calendar and say, okay, my offer certification module one starts the 30th. So this is going to be my cart close date. And I'm going to go in here on the 30th. Make sure I update the right calendar, and I'm going to write cart close. So this is going to be, and you can do this on like, you can print out a calendar on Canva, like a paper calendar as well. I always like the digital calendar on Google because then I can share it with, I can put multiple calendars on here and kind of see how things overlap. I'm not gonna make you see it, but I have Anna's calendar on here, and that has like my whole personal life, busy life on there. So I will also put that calendar with my launch calendar and kind of make sure I'm not over committing myself in my personal life and my business life as well. So I have a cart close date. And then I'm also, so that's going to be kind of my promotion date. And I mentioned yesterday when I'm doing like bigger launches, I usually am going to have the cart open for like 2 to 3 weeks because I'm doing sales calls. So if I'm going to close cart on the 30th, I'm going to do heavy sales calls on the 30th. And I do sales calls on Fridays. That's when I do all my calls, for my business. And I'm going to have kind of like a 3 week kind of promotional period here. And I'm going to block out Calendly for my sales calls on those Fridays. And so this is going to be from the 12th to the 30th is going to be like my open cart times. Like I said, I'm just doing this on the fly with you guys. So you can see I'm going to change the color as well. So that's going to be like my open cart times. So I'm going to do like a heavy promotion. I'm going to put in here when Mondays are good. I'm going to do a webinar on Monday to kick this off. And I'm going to turn that green. So that's going to be, and I'm going to set the time for that. Let's see, we're going to do that at, we're going to do that. Let's keep it, 12's been working well. So we're going to keep that at 12. Okay. So going back to our agenda, so I'm adding in my launch dates, my open cart dates. I'm adding in connection content. So we talked yesterday about how your connection content is the content that's going to build trust and a relationship with your audience. You're going to share your mission, your values. And so I'm going to start that tomorrow. We're going to start my connection content tomorrow. So on social media, we're going to start from January 1, let's see, to January 15th is going to be connection content. I'm going to share. So this helps me know, okay, this is the type of content I'm going to be sharing on social media. So when I get to my social media time every day, I can say, okay, I'm going to do connection content. And then I'm going to move into the awareness content. Then from the 16th, let's see here, we're going to do awareness content. So the awareness content we talked about on day 2, the awareness content is going to be your content where you're going to talk about reasons people need to buy your offer. Basically, the mistakes people are making, the mindset beliefs they have, the myths and mistakes that they're making, the whys, like the benefits, all those reasons why someone should join your program or your service. That's the type of, and it's also social proof. It's also testimonials. And so you can kind of see they're connecting with you first, and then you're making them aware of why they have this need and that they need your product or service. So that's the connection content, awareness content. The third social media type of content we talked about yesterday was a video content. So as a service provider, someone who's providing a service to people, we want to do video contents because that makes people build that trust with you, know you're a real person. You're seeing me here, hello, on video today. We're doing this live. There's that connection, right? You can ask me a question, I can respond, we can interact. There's that in-person kind of connection that we're building. And that's really, really a great thing for me, for you, for all of us, right? So every single week, I'm going to build some sort of video content. It doesn't always have to be live. For me, I record super easy on Zoom. like a podcast, a video, and I'll put it on YouTube and I'll put it on my podcast and I'll put it on my website and kind of have created kind of a system to make that simple and easy. Um, so sometimes I get a little behind. So I do have to say, we just went back over the last 6 months and posted blog posts because we were doing podcasts every week. So I was consistent in one of those and then had to go back just this last week and upload some videos that we hadn't gotten to and put some blog posts on the blog. So don't think I'm perfect. This doesn't always get done, but I did have that priority of podcasts first, at least once a week. Except during my summer breaks, I was I was getting a podcast out every single week. So in January, very important to do that as well as I'm leading up to a launch. So my podcast goes live on Thursday. So I'm going to put podcast video on the first, um, uh, on the 8th, and video on the 15th, and on the 22nd. And we talked yesterday about how to know what you're going to talk about in your content as well too, in yesterday's video. So that's going to help me figure out what that content is going to be. All right, so going back to our agenda, we've added in our launch dates, we've added in our connection content, our awareness content, I've added in podcast video. I've added in one live webinar to kick it off on the 12th. I'm probably going to do another live webinar maybe on the 27th. So I'll add that in as well that date. I'm not quite sure what time that day, but these are just placeholders to remind me kind of what the month looks like. I'm going to do a live webinar that day, and then we're going to close cart on the 30th. And I've added in my sales call days, I'll show you this when we get to February and March. But this is a bigger promotion. So I'm doing sales calls. Sales calls are your fastest way to make sales, actually by talking to someone. So I highly recommend doing sales calls, adding those time blocks into your calendar. I've added in my closing date, but I have not added in email dates. And so I'm going to make sure, I'm still trying to figure out what day I should send my email newsletter, but I'm going to say it looks good to send this on Mondays. So I'm going to send my email newsletter, kind of giving people an update. Once again, connection content, kind of summarizing what's happening in the launch, when the webinars are going to be, also making sure people have seen these podcast videos, kind of know about the upcoming webinars, and that this launch is happening, and to book a call with me. So I will be sending out emails for that. And that's the launch. That's the big picture launch. So now every week when I do my weekly planning, I usually do it on Sundays. I will come into this calendar and I will see, okay, what do I have to do this week? And so, say on the 4th, when I do my weekly planning, I will come in here and I will say, okay, I got to send out an email newsletter on Monday, do my podcast video on Thursday, and then all this week I'm posting connection content, and I'm not worrying about all the other future stuff as well too. I can kind of start to make my weekly plans. I can also start to see I need to create webinar slides. I have a webinar next week, so I can start to prep for that, and then making sure that my calendar is up to date for these openings for sales calls on the 16th, 23rd, and the 30th. So that's January. Now, February and March are going to be a lot lighter. There's just going to be a webinar. So when I go into my February content plan, let's just pick out a random date. Let's say I'm going to do a CRP webinar. Don't know the topic. These are all just placeholders on the 18th. And then I can kind of plan that out then. This in a very similar way. I'm going to be selling a different type of offer. So from the first, from the first to say like the 7th, I'm going to be doing connection content, kind of rebuilding connection and leading into my awareness content, until we get to the 18th, when I'm actually going to have the webinar. And then on the 16th, I'm going to send out my email, webinar start date. Webinar, let's see, it's not start date. Webinar coming. Sign up. And then we'll send out the recording on the 19th. And then I'll probably usually only have like a 4 day. I'm not doing any sales calls. So this is where like it lightens up a little bit. I'm not doing all those heavy sales calls, but I'll probably do kind of like a 4 day open cart. So I'll probably have kind of like a from Thursday to the 22nd, I will have open cart. Um, and I'll change the colors in here. I always like to change the colors so like I can see what everything is different. So send out the replay and then open cart, and then I'm going to close cart um, on the 22nd. And you can kind of add in there, but that's kind of just like a lighter launch, just kind of a 4 day launch. Then going into the March, I'll do the same thing for that 3 day workshop as well too. So, any questions that you guys have as far as, mapping out your launch plan? Isabel says, where is this boot camp if we are in the membership, please? Okay, so the mini challenge, the boot camp hasn't been released yet. The boot camp is going to be released tomorrow, the first day of the boot camp. But the recordings, if you're in the CRP membership, the recordings are, if you click here, that's going to take you to our recordings page. So you can see the winter call schedule, and then you can see all of our recordings that we've done. So we have day 2 is in there, and day 1 is in there as well too. I don't know why it's blurry. Oh, there it goes. It's not always blurry like that. So that's where the recordings are. And you will get an email from me tomorrow with the High Conversion Marketing Bootcamp that starts tomorrow. So that has not been released yet. Okay, a couple questions coming in. If you're doing a 6-week coaching program that leads to a monthly community, do we only launch one 6-week program per 60 days? Good question. Okay, if we're doing a 6-week coaching program that leads to a monthly community, do we only launch one 6-week program per 90 days? I would. I launch our career coach certification program every 90 days, and I'm in that kind of that quarterly rhythm. Once you do it a few times, it's a lot easier to rinse and repeat and do it again. So you could decide to do it every quarter. You could decide to do it every 6 months. Kind of figure out what your bandwidth is. Of course, the more you launch, the more opportunities you have to sell, and the more clients you can help as well too. So, yeah, you could do something similar that I just did, where I had in January might be your 6-week coaching program, and then February and March is kind of like those lighter launches, maybe for your monthly community. That could be an idea. But yeah, keep the questions coming. I will have time to answer your questions as well. I want to make sure I get through everything that we have for you today as well too. We've talked about what's going to drive revenue. So this is another big one for me too. I have the 2 main revenue drivers in our business are our membership and our career coach certification program. So that's mostly what I'm focusing on. I have revenue streams coming in from other things as well, but those are my main core offers, my main focuses. And so I recommend thinking like, what are your money making actions? Like, what are those things that you're going to do that are going to lead to sales? It's not working on your website. It's not updating your Instagram even, or writing your Substack in my case. But the 3 things that are going to actually make a revenue for my business right now are sales calls, webinars, and email marketing. So know what yours are as well too. I also recommend having number goals, like knowing this is what helps me. I know my quarterly goals and my monthly goals. I have data points that I'm reaching, like the number of people I want to help in certification and the number of you guys I want to help in our membership. And that keeps me focused each and every week. I'm not chasing money. I'm actually chasing the number of people that I want to help. And even as I write on Substack, I'm chasing, want to help people, help readers. So I'm going for subscribers. I'm not going for paid content or, trying to make an income there as well too. Because I know that as you build trust and as you build a relationship with people, as you connect with people, as they have that content to consume of yours, and then that's, by the time then they get on that sales call or the webinar, see your sales page, they already know, like, and trust you. So being consistent in your content and in your marketing, that's going to beat being complex and overwhelmed every single time. So know what to focus on, know what in your business is going to move the needle financially. And then also design a weekly marketing flow that you can repeat. So you want to every single week, kind of when I do my weekly planning on Sundays, and I think through like what is my marketing going to look like? When am I creating the content? When am I connecting with my audience? And when am I selling my audience, my offers? And so kind of knowing when those time blocks are in my week, that's what helps me stay consistent. It's like the same every single week. And it's very, 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 very flexible. It has to be, because I'm a very, very, very busy person. There's a lot happening over here. So I have a checklist. I have an Instagram checklist. So when I do have my 15 minutes of Instagram time, I try and get it done earlier in the day. Sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes it's late at night. Someone asked yesterday, when's the best time to post? And in my opinion, it's whenever I can post, whenever I have a chance. And of course, you can look at your obviously if you have more time, you can post when your audience is online and, get really into your analytics and look and just make sure you're posting at the best time. I try to post on a daily basis when that's a possibility. So I have a checklist and I gave you guys here an example of kind of what my Instagram checklist looks like. I kind of have to redo this. This is actually on my to-do list today is to redo this for January. And you can edit this, so you can go file, make a copy and edit this. But when I created this, I was trying to do reels 3 times a week. I was trying to create carousel posts 3 times a week, doing stories face to camera like 1 time a week, adding in stories. Testimonials are great to post on stories. As well as every single day, I like to do a call to action to my lead magnet. And then I have my focus areas down here. So I try and have a focus for each day on Instagram. And so if it's Monday, an example would be our free 90-day planner. If it's a Monday, on Mondays, I'm posting about our free 90-day planner. On Tuesday, I'm posting about our tools. On Wednesday, I'm posting about our career coach startup kit. And so that helps me. I don't have to make a decision like, what should I post today? Which lead magnet should I promote? Maybe you have an application or a sales call link you can be posting on Fridays, and then a training video like a webinar you're posting on Saturdays. And then Sundays, I like to do kind of like a recap of like, here's all the things I posted this week. Which one did you miss? Which one was the most important for you? Which one did you love? And that kind of gets the conversation and excitement going again every Sunday. I also like to do like a poll, Q&A box, and then of course doing DMs as well too. So I know we're not talking about social media there, but there's my whole social media checklist. Um, the reason I'm sharing it though is for you to see I have a checklist. So when I have my 10 to 15 minutes, I don't have to use my brain because it's usually when I'm exhausted. And so I don't really have to use my brain that much. I can literally just be like, hey, it's Monday. Let's post about the planner. Either let's post something I've done in the past, or if I have more in me, more like creation power in me, and I feel like creating, then I'll create something new about the planner. Or I'll recycle something that has done well in the past. I also have built doing a weekly podcast into my calendar, and that plays also on YouTube and podcast players, and then our website, and then also doing a weekly newsletter. And then every month doing these 1 to 2 webinars, challenges, as well as, like I said, a daily lead magnet promotion. And so I say all that not because I think you need to have all that, but I share that so that you guys can see there's a rhythm and it's like predictable. You're going to see me, if you have been on our email list for a while, you've seen me do about 2 webinars a month. You've seen me do, if you subscribe on any of the podcast players, you've seen a weekly podcast come up. If you're on YouTube, you probably saw me last night batch upload like all the videos that should have gone out weekly over the last 6 months, but didn't. But that's okay. Sometimes you play catch up, and that's okay as well too. But for me, the important thing is that it's out there. It's gonna be able to serve someone and help someone. Um, and then you've seen me, if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen me promote those daily lead magnets. I am not afraid to share my lead magnets on Instagram because I know that they serve people and they help people. And that's kind of my flexible marketing weekly checklist as well. I also down here have a 90-day plan, two examples. They're in our old branding. So as long as you can get past that part of it, these are really great examples for you, which is why I wanted to share them with you. There is a new entrepreneur and an advanced entrepreneur. See, so just ignore that part. But this part is really good. If you don't know what you should do in 30, 60, 90 days, and if you are brand new, just follow this. Take ideas from this. Your area of focus is just going to be identifying your market, growing your audience, identifying what your client wants, and attracting ideal clients. You don't need to have offers all ready to go and be putting together a launch plan like I just showed you. You can keep it super simple and easy, and break it into this 30, 60, 90 days. And then I have another one for advanced entrepreneurs as well. So if you already kind of have a business all set up and ready to go, your area of focus are going to be growing audience, growing your email list, improving your sales systems, building your team, increasing your revenue. And this is going to kind of give you ideas for things that you can do in 30, 60, 90 days as well too. If you're kind of like, what should I be posting? So use those. Um, and okay, so now I have time for your questions. So while you guys are answering your questions, just want to make sure that you know that our high conversion marketing bootcamp starts tomorrow. So we are closing doors tonight. It's only $19 to get in. If you join us today, you get instant access to all of the recordings for this whole mini challenge. So on day one, we talked about creating your launch plan. On day two, we talked about creating your social media plan for 2026 for the whole year. And then, of course, you have today as well, too, creating that 90-day marketing plan. So you can go back to all of these videos whenever you want. You'll always have access to them. And then you also get our high conversion marketing bootcamp. And that is, we're going to go through over the next 90 days. We're going to help you get your marketing set up. And highly converting into sales, lots of systems happening, lots of improving your sales as well, revenue, your impact. So I have a whole outline of the boot camp. We have we do now know there's what the pre-work is going to be on. It's releasing tomorrow and then also on Monday as well too. So I'm going to drop the link to the marketing bootcamp if you are not already in there. If you are a corporate rescue plan member already, or if you are in career coach certification already, I see a lot of you guys here today. You get access to the marketing bootcamp. So you do not need to buy anything else. You will get an email from me tomorrow that has all the links for the marketing bootcamp, all the information. So you're in. Let me know if you are already in. If you're already in CRP, right? CRP. I saw Nikechi. Who else is in our certification? If you're in certification, right? Certification in the chat as well. Yes, Pat is in CRP. I've seen a lot of you guys here already. Yes, we do have the link for today. So if you came in late, then you probably missed the document today, and you definitely want to get that because that has all of the templates and tools that we've been covering as well too. And then also, okay, so let me answer your questions. I also have my Substack on here. I've been talking about planning on Sundays. And so if you are a mom or if you're a busy woman and you want to know how I plan on every Sunday and kind of the process we do as a family, what I post on the fridge so everyone knows what's happening. That's my giveaway. If you come subscribe on my Substack, you'll get an email that has the link to that as well too. Okay, question time. Let me grab a sip of water. And let's go through questions. Okay. Okay, so you guys should have all gotten the link. Thank you, Karika, for sharing the agenda and the link. You definitely don't want to miss that. Okay. Okay, so Alyssa says, so only one of the group coaching programs per quarter, at least to start. That's what I would do. If you launched it once per quarter, that's a really good marketing plan to be able to rinse and repeat and learn from it as well. That's worked really well for us as well too. Ours is more of a 90-day program. So when our coaches join, we have, all the fulfillment, all of the emails, everything that the whole entire framework goes for 90 days, but they do have a year to graduate. So if they're not able to finish in 90 days, they can go to the next cohort as well. But ours is kind of broken into cohorts. Um, and you can also do like 2 weeks on, 1 week off, and kind of give people a break week too if you want to kind of expand it as well. Okay, I don't know if I'm freezing. Hopefully I'm not, but who knows? Nicole says, if you were just starting out, how do we know what will move the needle and what we should focus on? Okay, so hopefully you saw at the very end today. I know you asked this question before I went over it. But these are the things that are going to move the needle. If you go to the bottom, get this new entrepreneur 90-day plan because these are the things that are going to move your needle. What's going to move the needle is identifying the market. So it's talking to people, it's interviewing others, it's putting polls up, asking questions, it's creating, like figuring out who that ideal client avatar is, what their challenges are. We're going to talk about this actually in our High Conversion Marketing Bootcamp right away. This is actually the pre-work. I think it's going to come out either tomorrow or on Monday because we have 2 pre-work videos coming out, and it's going to be on market research. That's what's going to be the move the needle is like knowing your market inside and out, knowing them more than they even know themselves, knowing the things that are keeping them up at night, knowing those big challenges that they're having and those big dreams and goals that they want. So you can like literally speak their language. That's going to move the needle. You can do this through surveys. You can do this through, 15-minute phone calls, coffee chats. You can also look at your competition as well too. I don't like to spend too much time on competitors because you are unique, you are different. You're going to focus on solving problems, your customers' problems. But sometimes it's good to kind of see what your competitors are offering, what they're doing well, what you think they could be doing better, and what they're charging. And then what also is going to move the needle is just growing your audience. Even if you're not going to even sell anything yet, um, growing that audience, picking that social media platform like we talked about yesterday. We talked about some of my favorite social media platforms for 2026. Picking that, opening the account, learning as much as you can about it, practicing maybe imperfectly, putting stuff out there, sharing content about your mission, your purpose, your values, who you are, your stories, all that connection content, that's so important. You can be starting to do that. That's going to move the needle, creating relationships with people, answering questions. And the other thing that's going to move the needle is really identifying what your ideal client wants. Figuring out, like I said, what their challenges are, their frustrations, their dreams, their goals. Um, Creating a lead magnet, which would be, that might be kind of a more advanced thing. I don't know if I would focus on that in the first 90 days, but just really learning as much as you can about your client, what that problem is. And from there, then you can start to do research like, hey, I'm thinking about creating, a workshop that helps people with blank, and you can start to ask questions like that and start to see what, does this sound like this something that you'd be interested in? And, just talking to people and seeing or posting on social media and seeing what that engagement is and what people really want. That's what's going to be moving the needle if you're just getting started. You can also do practice clients, practice coaching, or like if you have a product, you can give that away for free or a very low discount or something, a really very low price just to have people start to go through it. That's going to move the needle because you're going to start to get social proof and testimonials. So that's really important as well. Okay. Amber says, I don't think I saw your weekly template when I subscribed to Substack. Okay, Amber, check the email. It should have been in the first email when it said like, welcome to this one, welcome to our call to this Substack. It should have been in that email. If it wasn't, please let me know because I think it is. I thought it was, but you know me, and we're just getting started on Substack, so I could be doing something completely wrong. So let me know. Okay, does anyone else have any questions for me today? I am going to, what's a Substack? Okay, so um, a Substack is a new way where you can, it's kind of a new social media platform. I wouldn't recommend it for everyone. It's perfect for people who like to write, who already have their own blogs, who already have their own email list providers, who are already doing some sort of like social media as well too. So to me, I think of it as kind of like in addition to, it's kind of like a new social media platform where you can blog and you can write and you can meet other writers as well too. So that's kind of how I think of it. Amber said, I signed up and got the bigger planner. I'll look and see about the weekly. Yeah, the bigger planner would be what you get when you sign up on our website at classycareergirl.com/free plan. That's our like free big 90-day planner. But yeah, you can just search, Substack and go check it out as well. Like I recommend creating an account, especially if you like to read and support other writers. That's what I'm finding. It's a lot of, authors. It's a lot of people who just like to write. I like to write. And so, even on Instagram, I write carousel posts. I write captions to pictures. That's kind of, I started a blog in 2011. And so it all kind of started with blogging and writing. So for me, it's kind of a perfect addition, but it's not for everyone for sure. Okay, so one last time, I am going to put the link, because this closes tonight, so I just want to make sure everyone has the link. Oops, actually, I think I just posted the wrong thing here. Okay, so you have the template, the day 3 template, and then you also have the link to our High Conversion Marketing Bootcamp, and to get all the replays for if you missed any of the days of our mini challenge. So thank you all for showing up. Thank you for all of your questions, for all of your support. This helped me plan. If you didn't notice, I now have January calendar all planned out thanks to you guys. I also have my launch calendar for Q1 done thanks to you guys. I'm doing this with you. I have yet to do my social media plan though. Maybe I should have done that with you yesterday so that I actually got it done. Maybe we'll have to do that in CRP here coming up as well too. So thank you everyone for participating in this 3-day challenge. I hope you feel confident in serving people through your marketing and building trust and building relationships through your amazing launches, through your offers that you're going to help people with, and through your social media. So I'm excited for you all. Let's all keep in touch. So definitely join us in CRP so that we can continue to support you, review your offers, review your sales pages, review your annual plans, your 90-day plans. All of those things are coming up in Corporate Rescue Plan. So make sure you're on Slack so that we can, you get all of the latest information. I'm on Slack every day. So if you need anything, you can always post in there. I'll post the replay in there and then also on the recordings page when we're done with this. And thank you all. I'm wishing you the very best 2026. We will be back in the new year. It's going to be amazing. Thank you, Karika. I feel truly inspired. I'm so glad. Thank you, Catherine. You're so welcome. It was great. You were awesome, Isabella. Thank you, Amber, Pat, Nicole, Angela. Thank you all for being here. Awesome. Happy New Year's Eve to you too. I hope you guys have an incredible evening and 2026, and I will see you back in the new year. Bye, everyone.